Hello, fans and friends. Welcome back to the channel. I'm AstroKara. Let me ask you a question. How do you process your uncomfortable emotions? Listen, there's no judgment here. We all find ways to distract, self-medicate, ignore, or project those feelings. We haven't been taught or shown another way. And this week brings the opportunity to sit with, reflect on those uncomfortable emotions, and make some new decisions. We're leading up to a very powerful Cancer full moon that will be asking us to clean out our proverbial emotional closets. Think of it as early spring cleaning, a necessary purge. We currently have Venus in a balsamic phase conjunction to the Sun, and Mars in a new phase conjunction to the Sun, all unfolding in Capricorn. From an evolutionary astrology perspective, this is a time for the soul to excavate an old value system while initiating a new way of directing energy. When those two things overlap, it can get really uncomfortable. Old motivations are no longer working. Priorities are shifting. But the new isn't fully embodied yet. So let's talk about Venus first. Venus reflects what we value and how we prioritize things based on those values. It's also how we relate and how we seek connection. In this balsamic phase, the soul begins to withdraw energy from relationships, goals, or even identities that have run their course. And in Capricorn, this often looks like outgrowing relationships that are built on duty. Maybe questioning success that came at the cost of your emotional life. Or feeling disconnected from goals that once gave you purpose. You may be functioning, but without the real emotional buy-in that you used to have. Just kind of going through the motions. And you're meant to let something end cleanly. And this is part of the challenge, because when emotions are mixed in, it's often messy. And this is why learning to recognize, acknowledge, identify, and process those uncomfortable emotions that are associated with loss and endings is so incredibly important. Now let's look at Mars. Mars is in this new phase to the Sun, which means a new desire nature is being born. Mars shows us how we go after what we want, how we instinctually move based on those unconscious desires. And in Capricorn, it's not about pushing harder. It's about acting from integrity. You may feel an old drive fading, this disconnect that Venus is showing you, but you may not know what you're moving toward yet. But this Mars isn't asking for urgency. It's asking for alignment. This is the beginning of a new relationship to effort, ambition, and self-authority. This is one that does not require you to self-betray in order to succeed. One of the simplest yet more destructive ways in which we self-betray is to deny ourselves the space to feel and express our range of emotions, especially anger. And anger is a necessary part of the grieving process. So, synthesizing this configuration, the message is clear to me. We cannot build the future that we envision using values and patterns of behavior that we've already outgrown. And this is why trying to motivate yourself right now maybe feels like it's not working. The motivation and maybe even the desires that you're trying to access belong to an older chapter. Capricorn teaches us that real authority comes from self-respect, self-authority, and self-trust. And I appreciate a quote from the 2009 Avatar movie where Moat speaks the truth of an old Zen proverb. It is hard to fill a cup that is already full. Capricorn also represents the container, our cup, if you will. The structure, the framework, and the space we create for our emotions. If our containers are full of burdens and expectations, we must purge them in order to move forward with what we want to build. If this resonates personally, especially in your relationships, work, or sense of direction, this is exactly why my work exists. If you'd like support navigating this threshold, book a transit session with me, and I'll post the link in the description. I'll hold space for you while you purge and help you move forward with a grounded clarity and more embodied self-trust. Until next time, take care of you.